Governor Eddie Calvo wants to know what the public thinks about raising the local minimum wage again. It was increased in January 2014 to $8.25 an hour, a dollar more than the federal minimum rate.
I think it's very important to listen to the input from small businesses, the mom and pop stores. You know, the small businesses make up a big percentage of this economy. Then, of course, it's important also to listen to the academics, the economists, and their input in this. And then as well as also social scientists and, of course, also working families.
1 year later, the Department of Labor and GITA are supposed to review the impact and report back by April. One group that is urging a very careful assessment is the Guam Employers Council. Executive Director Andy Andrus.
It's not a simple matter. It's certainly not as simple as just waving a regulatory wand with a proclamation of one paragraph and saying, okay, we're increasing the minimum wage and this is going to take care of everything. It hasn't over 77 years.
Andrus is referencing the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938, the landmark law that first sparked the long-running debate over wages between labor and business.
There's a counter-argument that the minimum wage is not the living wage. Of course, there have been some experiments with trying to instill a living wage that have not been successful. The minimum wage is typically viewed as the beginning wage. You know, if the people that are arguing that, oh, I can't raise a family with 5 on a minimum wage, well, the counter-argument may be you raise the bridge or you lower the river. You know, if you can't raise a family on 5, then don't have a family on 5. Either that or go out and improve your education, improve your abilities, and move on up.
On the opposite side, there is Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz, who has been a vocal proponent of raising the minimum wage. He says he's also waiting for the results of the DOL impact study.
Judging from all the indicators, I mean, we didn't experience the apocalypse that everybody said was going to happen. I mean, things are much better. I mean, at least the number of employment has gone up. I don't know of anything closing up as a result of that increase. So
let me say this also.
Andrew says, of course, most people will support a minimum wage increase despite the potential negative impacts on business.
So I suspect that you're going to find very few, if any at all, that will say, oh, no, I don't want an increase in my pay. You know. But then there are some employers that are going to say, wait a minute, I'm really up against a cost crunch, and I understand market forces, but when there is just a proclamation that your costs are going to be more, you know, this raises a lot of concerns.
But a section of the U.S. Department of Labor website highlights what it calls minimum wage myth busters. It disputes notions such as a hike is bad for business or the economy, and points out that the federal minimum wage has been increased 22 times since 1938, and real GDP per capita has steadily increased. Andrus, though, is not swayed.
I'm concerned that the government is going to say, we increase the minimum wage, therefore everything will be okay. We don't have anything else to do. I would rather see them direct their attention to the educational, training, and development environment. I think that this is where the real economic value is going to come.
We've all had increases. The only ones that haven't had increases are the poor minimum wage earners. I mean, this is unconscionable that we have major increases for the rest of us, but barely a dollar for everybody else.
But even Andrus himself seems resigned to the fact that perhaps sooner rather than later, another increase is inevitable.
From an employer's council standpoint, again, we advise the businesses, get your wage and salary structures in order, get your job descriptions in order, get your business models in order, your manpower allocations, and prepare for it.
You can let your opinions be known about a possible minimum wage increase by posting on the governor's Facebook page or call the Adelup main line at 472-8931 and ask for Community Affairs. For KOM's Business Matters, I'm Nestor Lecanto.